Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look into the future. And not just any future, but the one meticulously mapped out by Ray Kurzweil, one of the most famous futurists on the planet. We're going to climb his timeline and see exactly when our world might change forever.
So, who exactly is our guide on this journey? Well, he's a top engineer at Google, and when Ray Kurzweil makes a prediction, people really listen. And why is that? Because since way back in the late 80s, he has kept up a stunning 86% accuracy rate. I mean, that is an incredible track record to bet against.
You know, back in 2005, Kurzweil wrote this landmark book, The Singularity is Near. Now, almost 2 decades later, he's about to drop a sequel called The Singularity is Nearer. So, what in the world is this singularity that he thinks is getting closer by the day?
Okay, so the singularity, it's this hypothetical moment when artificial intelligence doesn't just get as smart as us, but completely surpasses us, becoming so powerful that we can't control it anymore. And this idea isn't built on slow, steady progress. Oh no, it's powered by exponential growth. We're talking technology that doubles in power at a dizzying pace.
So, Kurzweil has actually laid out a timeline for this whole thing. He's pointing his finger at the year 2045 for the arrival of the singularity. But the road to get there is dotted with some pretty huge milestones, especially in the decade that's right around the corner.
All right, let's start our climb and take a look at the world Kurzweil thinks we'll all be living in by the 2030s. And the change starts somewhere you might not expect, with the very fabric of our lives. I mean that literally, the clothes on our backs. Kurzweil sees a world of intelligent fabrics, clothes woven with tiny sensors that are keeping track of your health in real time. But here's where it gets really wild, the link up with virtual reality. Picture a gaming suit that doesn't just track your body, but gives you haptic feedback, vibrations, maybe even simulated shocks, while an AI opponent is analyzing your biometrics to know your next move before you do. Now, during this exact same transformative decade, humanity's ambitions are going to stretch way, way beyond our home planet. Kurzweil predicts we're going to see the first human footprint on Mars, thanks to companies like SpaceX. And at the same time, different nations are going to start building a permanent base on the moon. And get this, the construction will use incredible new tech, like 3D printing and even smart bricks that can soak up solar power and store data. So as we're expanding outward into the cosmos, we're also going to be expanding inward into these huge new digital worlds. And the metaverse, according to these predictions, isn't going to be just one place. Nope. It'll be a whole universe of competing virtual realities from big players like Meta, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. Just think about what that means. Our avatars could live, work, own digital stuff, creating whole new economies. This is way beyond gaming. It's a potential reorganization of society itself. All of this is building towards what Kurzweil says is the crucial tipping point on our journey. He's pinpointed a single year, 2029. This entire climb, this whole idea, it really hangs on one of the oldest and most fundamental questions in all of artificial intelligence. How can we actually be sure a machine has reached human-level intelligence? For a long time, the classic answer has been the Turing test. It's a pretty simple but deep experiment. You have a human judge talking to a human and an AI, but they don't know which is which. If the judge can't tell the difference, the AI passes. And here's the thing. To this day, no AI has ever officially passed it. And this is Kurzweil's massive prediction. In 2029, for the very first time, an AI will finally pass the Turing test. This is the moment. This is the signal that AI has achieved human-like intelligence, and it marks the beginning of that final, super-fast climb to the singularity. So after that 2029 milestone, the predictions say the pace of change is going to become, well, truly breathtaking as we start to merge our own biology directly with our technology. So the first phase is actually already happening with brain-computer interfaces, implantable chips designed to help people, walk again or see again. But that is just the opening chapter of the story. The final ascent to the singularity. Well, it involves a technology that feels like it was pulled straight out of a sci-fi movie, nanobots. Okay, so here's the idea. We would swallow these microscopic robots, maybe in a pill. They would travel up to our brain and assemble themselves into a new synthetic layer, right on top of our neocortex. That's the part of our brain that does all the high-level thinking. And this new layer would basically be a super-fast, direct connection to the cloud, radically expanding our memory and our ability to think. And this
This brings us to the summit of all these predictions, a future with almost unimaginable technological power, where the line between being human and being a machine just gets blurrier and blurrier. Every single technology we've just talked about, from the smart fabrics to the brain-linked nanobots, they hold so much promise. They could solve some of the biggest problems humanity has ever faced. But, like any powerful tool, they carry an equally high potential for harm. Ultimately, this future isn't really defined by what technology can do. It's defined by what we choose to do with it. The power is coming, for sure, but the choice, well, that's still up to us. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we hope this leaves you with a lot to think about.